African-American college students are known to far better graduate at higher rates from HBCUs than African-Americans attending mainstream colleges and universities. I am an example of why HBCUs are important. You see, I'm a small business owner, educator, former nonprofit director, former state rep, and now a member of the Chicago City Council. It is also my distinct honor as a member of the Chicago City Council to recognize a couple of my colleagues that are here today. We have Alderman Ronnie Mosley, Alderman Jason Irwin, Alderman Michelle Harris, Alderman Monique Scott. Am I missing anybody? All right, y'all can give those folks a round of applause. I mentioned again me being a member of the illustrious Chicago City Council. It is because, ladies and gentlemen, Clark Atlanta University gave me an opportunity to my Morehouse brothers today to find a way or make one. And though I graduated from Clark Atlanta University, not cum laude, but thank you, Laude, as the late Justice Eugene Pincham would say. The goals of this illustrious Chicago Football Classic are two things that I want to mention. It showcases the talents, potential, and accomplishments of scholarship recipients, as well as benefiting historically Black colleges. It again encourages African-American students and their families to lift the bar of excellence and achievement, which lifts all of our communities. You see, today is a day that we have to not only support our youth and historically Black colleges, but today is a day that we continue to make history. And I want to thank the Rands, the Huggins, for their continued support of our young people and all they do for the city of Chicago 365 days a year. It is my honor to introduce a young lady by the name of Brianna Moreland. Brianna is also, and I'm not going to steal her thunder, a member of this historic clan that we all are alums of historically Black colleges. Would you all please welcome Brianna Moreland?
Good morning, everyone. I'm filled with absolute joy to be here today at Soldier Field in the heart of 4th Ward. A big thank you to Alderman Lamont Robinson for that warm welcome. I'm Brianna Moreland, a proud Chicago native, an even prouder HBCU alum from Texas Southern University.
Yes.
TS, you, where I studied radio, television, and film. Recently, I completed an internship at ABC 7 with Samantha Chapman. Currently, I work as a media relations associate at Rise Strategy Group, a minority-owned PR firm with aspirations of becoming a reporter and news anchor. Currently, the Chicago Football Classic has been a pivotal part of my journey. Inspired by its impact, I also founded my own foundation, which provides trunks and guidance to incoming college students. This today is a full circle moment for me, because I've been attending the Chicago Football Classic since as long as I can remember. It inspired me to pursue an education at an HBCU. From the electrifying Battle of the Bands to proudly representing that pink and green colors of AKA, HBCU culture has truly captured my heart and shaped who I am today. HBCUs matter because they celebrate cultural heritage, promote academic excellence with personalized support, and provide a safe space for students, and they find representation and a sense of belonging. Beyond academics, HBCUs foster lifelong connections among alumni, building a supportive network that spans generations and strengthens communities nationwide. This platform not only allows Chicago students to explore new horizons and gain valuable experiences, but also empowers them to bring their skills and talents back to our amazing city. On September 21st, we won't just be cheering for the Morehouse Bulldogs and the Kentucky State Thoroughbreds. We'll be cheering for the future leaders and change makers who will shape Chicago's tomorrow. Thank you all for being here and supporting such an amazing cause. Now I have the pleasure of introducing someone who knows all about the cultural heartbeat of our city. Please welcome Commissioner Hesteth from the Department of Cultural Affairs and Special Events, representing Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Good morning. Okay, just make it work. First, I want to be honest. I was too intimidated to go to HBCU, but we're not going to tell too many people that. Yes, as Commissioner, Department of Cultural Affairs and Special Events for the City of Chicago, and on behalf of Mayor Johnson and the entire citizens of Chicago, I want to not only thank Larry Huggins and the brothers Everett and Tim Rand for creating an institution, but to recognize the historical, cultural significance of the Chicago Football Classic. The Classic provides the space to not only showcase the brilliance of our historical Black colleges and universities, but it also creates a space to celebrate our deeply rooted cultural practices, music, language, foodways. Simply stated, the Classic is an opportunity to transfer cultural knowledge. The CFC is the quintessential example of the beauty of the Black lived experience. We're honored, we're proud, and we're happy, and this beautiful institution will continue for many years to come. Thank you.
How you doing, Rev? Chicago, are you ready for some football? Yeah! All right. Listen, a lot of people really don't realize the significance that HBCUs have played on making America one of the greatest nations in the world. Let me tell you why I said that. I think some of the speakers that came up and kind of talked about it a little bit. You know, there was a time when the only colleges that African Americans would go to were HBCUs. And when they went to those schools, they went back to their communities. They made their communities better communities because of the knowledge and experience they had learned at these historical Black colleges. Historical Black colleges have produced two of the greatest civil rights leaders in the history of this country. One of those leaders was, of course, the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., who also went to Morehouse. Another one of those leaders is standing right here today, the Reverend Jesse L, that attended North Carolina A&T, and at North Carolina A&T, I understand, Reverend, you was a hell of a quarterback. And it was really those leadership skills that made you change really the civil rights movement. Because what you did, you took it to another whole level when you ran for the President of the United States of America. And when you did that opened up the door for Barack Obama to become the president. It also has opened up the door for Kamala Harris to also become Vice President of the United States of America. And one day, God willing, she might become the first African-American president of the United States of America. So, Reverend, when you look at the things that you have done, we can help but at September 21st to honor you for the impact that you had, not only of the people in Chicago, but people all across the world. And without a doubt, Reverend Jackson, we're going to make this game at September 21st the largest and the biggest Chicago football classic that has ever happened. And it's all because of you, Reverend. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hello, everyone. Mark Wayne here. And I'm here to tell you what you can expect the day of the game. You know, when we first started this, I was a spectator. I'll come down here as a child and just be enamored being in Soldier Field. But this year, you're going to see the eyes of young boys and girls appear at this stadium for the first time ever. They have never gotten off the blocks. This is a new experience to them. When they arrive and see all the bells and whistles and experience that the Chicago Football Classic brings to Chicago that weekend, it's going to be an amazing feeling. And when they leave, they will never forget that moment. That weekend, you can expect thunder from the bands, high school and college. You can expect a roar at the crowd from watching a football game. You can expect excitement from the kids that line up for the college fair and that they receive hopes and dreams fulfilled at the college fair when they leave. Some of them have dreams and they will be fulfilled at this time, at that day, Chicago Football Classic brings. At this time, I'd like to bring up the game.
Thank you, Larry and Mark, for 27 years of bringing to life this inspiring event and making the Chicago Football Classic a success since 1997. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to have representatives from Kentucky State University and Morehouse College with us. They will share with us the significance of this year's game. Please join me in welcoming from Kentucky State Athletic Director Brent Stepp and Head Coach Huggins.
Thank you. Such an honor to be here today. It's been 12 years since the Thoroughbreds came to Chicago and played in this classic, so we do not take it for granted getting the opportunity to come and play in this and be a part of it. Since I was initially brought up in the conversation for this, all I can think about is our student athletes coming out on this field and how proud and excited they'll be to play in front of one of our largest alumni base here in Chicago. So I really look forward to this game. We're grateful to be here, and I want to let my coach Huggins talk for a second.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you guys and I appreciate everybody who showed up this morning to come support this beautiful event. For me, man, it just brings everything in the culmination of the totality. As a family of educators, my whole family went to Grambling State University, and they played this classic as well. I can remember when Eddie Robb brought his team up here. And so the opportunity to be a head coach here and to play in the classic, that was one of the biggest dreams of mine. So when AD Stepp approached us with this opportunity, it was a blessing in itself. And so also just the opportunity to play in this game. And also one thing that I like that we're pushing with this initiative is academics. And you can't get no too high academic schools, no better than Morehouse University and ourselves as well. Again, like AD Stepp related, that Kentucky State Chicago is one of the oldest alumni base for Kentucky State in its existence. We have a really, really big contingent of kids that come there. We get kids out of Whitney Young and Kenwood and Chicago School of Agriculture. So this is a big emphasis to continue to push the education forward for our young black men. And education is key, because I always like to tell our guys, football has an expiration date on it, whether they believe it or not. So when that day comes, they got to have something to fall back on. So that's a blessing in itself. So we're going to go out here and put a great show on. It's going to be a great event. And if anybody knows how classics are, it's a great event for all our people to come out and have a good time. And it's a blessing. So I want to say thank you guys for this opportunity.
I did want to take a second to introduce our SIAC Commissioner, Dr. Alderman. This is big not only for our university, but for our conference.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is an unbelievable opportunity and experience for our SIAC institutions, Kentucky State University and Morehouse College. I wanted to be here so I could offer a debt of thanks and gratitude to the individuals that are putting on this classic. These opportunities provide access and exposure for our student athletes, for our institutions to create a broader footprint where we can recruit the best and brightest students to come to our universities. And Reverend Jackson, I want to tell you that as a young man growing up, you were an inspiration. your willingness to lead and create opportunities for others at a sacrifice to yourself cannot go understated. And so from Anthony Holloman, the SIAC, and our 15-member institutions, thank you. Thank you to the Chicago Classic. And we look forward to descending on Chicago September 21st weekend. Thank you.
And now we will have Athletic Director Harold Ellis and Head Coach Terrence Matthews from Morehouse College.
That's right. We home. That's how I see it. I want to thank the Chicago Classic. I love your theme. It's more than a game. Academics, arts, athletics. That's the same alignment we have with our Morehouse. That's a few of our pillars: sportsmanship, leadership, stewardship, fellowship. We understand how to raise young men, and we understand that the Chicago Classic, you guys are doing a great job in producing college kids with this Classic money. I read the numbers, over $1 million, giving money to send kids to college. We want to be a part of that. At Morehouse, we call it a partnership with a purpose. That's what we call it. This is going to be our recruiting ground. Chicago area kids are the most successful kids at Morehouse College over the last 10 years. So we know you guys are doing a good job. One more thing from Rev Jackson. We're raising his grandson, Jesse Jackson III, is one of my volleyball players down there. So he sent him to the right place. This home, our key stakeholders are here in Chicagoland. Morehouse will represent it, and we're going to represent well. Here's my football coach, Terrence Matthews.
Good morning, good morning. It's such an honor to be here. First of all, it's such an honor to be the head coach and the leader of men at Morehouse College. I grew up 30 minutes away from Morehouse, and I played my professional football 2 blocks away. So Morehouse is home for me. It's the house. I always tell people, welcome to my house. You know, the history states, and I don't want you to put anything on your bulletin board, but my coaches, Coach George Copeland, who's my assistant head coach, he says, Coach, you know we 2-0 in Chicago. So that can be bulletin board, whatever it is, but that's just what it is. So we're excited to be here. We recruit this area. We signed a quarterback that played at Gwendolyn Brooks here, Christian Anderson. He's in our 24 class. He's coming and play tight end for us, and we're expecting big things from him. Right now, we're just excited about the football program and all the support that we get. This Classic has been phenomenal so far since we've been here. It's been hospitality. It's been great. It's just an honor to see Reverend Jesse Jackson again. Haven't seen him in probably about 15, 20 years. You know, this is special. This is really special, and we're gonna put up a big product. We're gonna bring one in here, classy young men that's gonna play hard and make you proud on both sides. So thank you for inviting us, and we look forward to seeing you in September. Thank you.
Let me just say that in a conversation I had with Ron Red, he told me that Harold Ellis is a living legend at Morehouse University. At Morehouse College. This young man could jump out of the gym. He played in the NBA for how many years, Harold? 4 years NBA. So at the end of the day, it is truly an honor to have a living legend to come to the city of Chicago. And at the same time, I have a family member, Huggins, that's playing for Kentucky State. So at the end of the day, I have to stay neutral. I can't back anybody. But it's just an honor, Mr. Ellis, to talk with you. And even in the conversation that I had with you, you talked about bringing Grambling here in 2026. Now, are you really committed to doing that?
Yes, sir.
All right, okay, all right. So, hey, look, we're going to wait and see.
Now can we have the representative of both colleges and universities to come up and shake off? Yes.
In front of the gap. Look this way, look this way. All right.
Right here, straight ahead.
Hey, wait a minute.
Right, straight ahead, everybody. All right, 1 second. Straight ahead, please.
Thank you. Thanks so much. All right.
We got a repeat. Thank you, guys. Now we will have Keith Britt come up, and he is with Dan Wagner, and he will be giving us and introducing us to our sponsors.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm truly honored to be here representing Van Wagner College. I'd like to thank the Chicago Football Classic team, as well as it's an honor to be standing here next to Rev Jesse Jackson. For those of you that don't know, Van Wagner College is a sponsorship sales organization. And we're truly excited to be partnered with an event and an organization such as Chicago Football Classic that has done many great things over many, many years. And we're looking forward to doing many more great things over the years to come. We like to say at Van Wagner College that we like to develop partnerships, not sponsorships, because those partnerships end up being long-standing relationships. And examples of that are BMO Bank and Sherman Dodge, who have had a long-standing history with the Chicago Football Classic. So join me in welcoming Ron Redd of BMO Bank and Reverend Walter Turner of Sherman Dodge, so they can discuss their history with the Chicago Football Classic.
All right. Good morning. Thanks for that introduction. I'm Ron Redd from BMO Bank. This is a beautiful thing. Morehouse College and Kentucky State playing on the 26th Chicago Football Classic. I am a Morehouse graduate, and I declare here today that Morehouse is going to beat the you-know-what out of Kentucky State on the 21st of September. BMO Bank has been a leading sponsor of the Chicago Football Classic for nearly 15 years. The Chicago Football Classic embodies and strives to be what we try hard to be. It is Chicago. It is community. It is diversity. It is education. It is opportunity. And I could go on much further. Yes, it is more than a football game. While the game is important, the most important aspect of the weekend for BMO is the career fair, where we get to meet and engage with hundreds of students as part of our financial literacy sessions. One of the best skills that a young person can gain is exposure to the fundamentals of personal finance and responsibility as they go out into the world. Lastly, we are thrilled to sponsor this game as it helps to facilitate scholarships. It's well documented over the last several years. The Football Classic has awarded over $1 million in scholarships. $1 million in scholarships. This year alone, we will award over $300,000 in scholarships, and that is amazing. So I know there's a lot of handshaking going on up here a little bit. That's not the football I know, but here's the deal. Best of both teams on September 21st. Let's go House.
Oh.
Good morning. My name is Pastor Walter Turner. I'm representing Mr. Dave Dickens and Sherman Dodge, who has been one of the title sponsors for this great game, which is more than a game. the Chicago Football Classic. And we really haven't done it, but will y'all do me a favor and let's give a hand to the founders, Mr. Larry Huggins, Everett, and Tim Rand. Come on, let's celebrate them for always continuously, historically giving back to the community. For 26 years, they have, along with this great city called Chicago, have tried to instill in our young people that there is better. Not only there is better, but there is greater. So they need to, our young people are being taught and being imparted into each and every one of their lives to ignore their past failures while focusing on how to initiate the possibilities of their future, which is why Sherman Dodge have so graciously offered up this 2023 Rubicon 392 Wrangler for raffling off for strictly for the scholarship fund for the Chicago Football Classic. The sticker price on this vehicle is $100,000. Fully loaded. It can be yours if we call your number. So on behalf of Mr. Dave Dickens and Sherman Dodge, we want to say to the Chicago Football Classic that we are once again proud to be a sponsor and a partner, not just a sponsor, but a partner, and you have in us a partner for life. Thank you.
We want to take a moment to acknowledge Nick Shields, Deputy Chief of Staff and Communications, representing President Preprinkle in Cook County. Can we have you wave, Nick? Thank you, Ron and Reverend Turner, for that incredible partnership. It's truly amazing to see strong support for the Chicago Football Classic. Don't forget to buy your raffle ticket, though. You don't want to miss the opportunity to cruise in that bad boy, because I know I will. It's a win-win on wheels. As we conclude this press conference, I'm honored to introduce Alderman Michelle Harris. Alderman Harris, your continued support, leadership, and dedication to our city and events like the Chicago Football Classic are truly commendable.
I want to introduce Ronnie Mosley, who's the alderman from the 21st Ward, and he is a house man. And so, and I also want to acknowledge Alderman David Moore from the 17th Ward is here with us also. For 27 years, I've been coming to these classics. 27 years. I was here for the very first one, and I guess that says I'm about to be the oldest person in the room. But today, I want to thank Larry, Tim, and Everett, and now Mark in the second generation of the Rands that has truly continued to expose our children. This is about our children. Many of our children, this is the only opportunity they're going to get to come to a world-class stadium. They never have the opportunity to do it. So this is an opportunity to expose our children, but one, to expose them to HBCUs. And so I'm grateful that this has evolved into an educational piece for our children. And so today I'm grateful again to Tim and Everett and to Larry and to Mark for continuing the vision. I hope that we all will participate. I hope that we can get our high schools here. I hope so our children can see. I hope that we can get our kids out for the educational event that they have here with all the HBCUs here for the exposure. It's for our children. It's about our kids. And Larry and them have done a great job in bringing this full circle. And Mark, Larry and Mark have really changed the trajectory of what this is. It's not just the game. It's become a whole weekend of events for children. And so today I'm grateful to be a part of this. I hope that we will get all our sponsors out. We'll get everybody exposed and get out here and support the Black Classic Games. 27 years of doing a game. Thank you, everybody, for being here today.
Let me just say before we close this puppy out, we could not do this game if it wasn't for the staff of Soldiers Field. To Tim Lefebvre, Marty McAndrews, and Luca, and your entire staff, thank you, thank you, thank you. And also to the Chicago Football Classic staff, Janet, stand up. All right, take a bow. Latoya Huggins, stand up, take a bow. Millie Sue Anderson, stand up, take a bow. Our new person that just came aboard, Catrice Armstrong, stand up, take a bow. At the end of the day, when this stadium gets filled, there's no question about it. These are the people, along with yourself and the entire city of Chicago, has made this day possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
With that, do we have any questions?
Hi, Naima Latif with On Air Daily News. Just want to find out, what about students who want to apply for these scholarships? I know the money goes to, I guess, all of the HBCUs, but if a student wants to apply for one of the Chicago Football Classic scholarships, where do they go?
Well, unfortunately, that window has sailed. We're going to be making the announcement for our awardees for this year. We're going to be making that announcement next week. We did choose 20 young men and women that are truly going to historical black colleges. And of course, at the college fair, I mean, people don't realize, and there are probably 5,000 to 6,000 students that come to that college fair. And on an average, there's always about $1.5 million in on-site scholarships that are given away that day. So we want to encourage every young man and woman that wants to go to a historical black college. You got to be here September 21st.
All right.
Any other questions?
Yes. How you doing? Right over here, Mr. Huggins. This is Eddie Lamar with Rolling Out.
Okay.
Real quick question. I know after doing this for 20 years, there are so many memories that you have of this classic, and this is for Mr. Rantu. What is your fondest memory of the Chicago Football Classic?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, and me and Tim and Everett, we have really talked about this. And when you stop and think about the economic impact that this game have on the city of Chicago, and the fact that African Americans are doing it, that's huge for us. When you also think about the fact that because of this game, there are more students from Chicago going to historical black college in the history of this state, that's even bigger for us. So at the end of the day, it's all about what can we do as businessmen to give something back to this beautiful city that we live in. That's why we do it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.